Hi, welcome to Tarot and Tea Tuesday. I think next week things are going to change a little bit. I'm going to start doing the live stream. I'm going to do the live stream earlier in the morning because I just feel like there's a bit more inspiration for me around that time. And also it just kind of frees up my day a little bit because at the moment I've got this in the middle of the day, so I can't do. Anyway, for a lot of reasons, I'm going to start doing the live stream in the morning. But what I've noticed is that this generally is watched later by people after it has already been recorded. So it shouldn't really impact many people. And I'm going to, starting next week, because I've gone through most of what's in my tarot trunk. And I didn't do it systematically, so I don't exactly know what if I've missed any, but I've gone through a lot of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start pulling out a deck that I want to focus on for a while and just read from the same deck for a little while, just to get a bit more of a feel for the creative process behind the deck that I'll be working with. It's been nice to dip in and just try a few, like just do a one pull from a whole bunch of them. But yeah, things are going to be just changing a little bit starting next week. So here we are on the just on the other side of a full moon in Scorpio. If you subscribe to the Being to Become Lunar Journal, there are some reading in there and a nice recipe for helping us through this transition into the next lunar cycle. It's been pretty intense, a lot of, for me anyway, a lot of kind of like, stop, what are you doing kind of things going on. Just like, what's happening? Questioning, that's what it is. Questioning what I'm doing, where I am, where I'm putting my energy, how I'm feeling. It's been a little bit intense, but pretty much every Scorpio full moon is a little bit intense. So I guess it's just my experience of this time and just a general experience of this time. So going with it is probably a good thing, but it's been very full on. If you have any comments you want to make about your experience of this last full moon period, then please do tell. I'm just going to have a quick look now if there's been any questions posted. There has not. So I might just read around that, like what is happening right now and how to, what I would like personally is like I'm having the experiences, but the background processing needs a little bit more energy. A few more resources need to be put into my background processing so that the actions that I take and the practical aspect of my life can be a little bit more grounded, something in a bit, well, directed, not grounded. I need a little bit of direction. The tea I'm having today, I'm drinking in this lovely goblet, is lemongrass. I've been having a lot of lemongrass and ginger tea because it's a nice tea that we have where I work. Well, not a lot, but I've been having it more than usual. And I've been really enjoying it. This is just lemongrass on its own. And a lot of people have had it because it's quite a refreshing tea. And with ginger, it gives it that kind of like warming, spiky kind of feel too. So it's quite cleansing on the palate and soothing to the digestive system, all of those lovely things. Apparently it stimulates enzyme production, digestive enzyme production. So that's why I'm taking it, because I've just been feeling really sluggish digestively. And it's got the antimicrobial properties and anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, all the cool things. So here's to lemongrass. Yum. I'm also, I've got a coffee on the go as well. So I'll be drinking both of those. And so today I've decided that I want to work with the runes that I made. I spent a couple of years really diving deep into Norse mythology, some of the Eddas, pulling apart some of the Eddas, and really getting into rune symbolism, like runes as a way of expressing, and also as a symbolic representation of bigger things. So that was really cool, and it was probably maybe 15 years ago now. It was a while ago, and I was after I did that, I was on a camping trip, and I woke up in the morning, and there was one of the gums had just dropped this massive branch right at the door of the tent, like it missed the tent. If it had landed on the tent, not only would it have woken us up, but it may have even caused some injury. Like, it was a pretty big branch, and a big lesson learned. So from that wood, I had these runes shaped and made. I burnt the symbols in myself, but my brother, who's incredible with working with wood, thanks to Rory, turned them for me. And so I found a stick, and as you can see, like it was just sort of sliced into these nice thin pieces. And then I just burnt the symbols on myself. Sure, ask a question if you like. So yeah, I thought I might use these runes today. They're not tarot. I'm not going to go as deep as I would normally if I was doing a rune reading for someone, because it is tarot and tea. Okay, I don't speak for other people. I hear what you're saying. I'm being asked what somebody's current feelings and thoughts are for them. I don't feel comfortable doing that. But what I will do is I'm going to pull a rune. So hang in there. I'm going to pull a rune, and I'm going to talk about what it says, and then it may enlighten what you're asking in the questions, how somebody feels about you. So let's give it a go. Pull one out. Let's see. We've got the moon in Scorpio still, I think. Sun in Taurus. Let's see what we're getting. Oh, the Naldera moon. It's the Need rune. Is that the right way around? I think it's back to front because of the camera. So the runes are broken into 3 sets, the 3 sets of 8. And this is part of the second set. And at the beginning of the second set, the first 3 are symbols that represent the Norns, the 3 oldest, wisest of the Norse pantheon. And they tend to the entire cosmos, the world tree. And they are, this one is this one represents Skuld, or the maiden, or the concept of what is becoming. And in this instance, Naudr is the rune, and it represents need. So when I think of this rune, I think of what is it that is needed to bring balance, bring peace, bring satisfaction. And I'm not talking about what is wanted, what is desired, but what is needed. So when we think about need, we're talking about what we need to sustain us. But then there's that question of what is that? Probably the people that I'm speaking to through this platform are the products of a culture that is capitalistic, and within that culture, we're kind of told what we need. We don't have a lot of freedom to feel into what we need. Hi, someone else has joined. This is where I do a free read where I just pull out one and we talk about the one, which is the Naudo rune. If you want to read like a proper read just for you, you can head over to my Square site, alisonbramich.com, if you want a proper read. But for now, we're just looking at this need rune. So yeah, when I think about this, I think about, okay, what is it that's brought me to where I am right now, that's generated the needs that I have? So because the Norns, like I was saying before, these 3 runes at the start of this ayat represent the Norns, who vaguely translate as destiny, being and becoming, or past, present, emerging. So that this is they all correlate and interrelate with each other. So when I'm seeing this rune here, I'm thinking about the need that has been generated because of where I have been, or why I have been in the past, what I am, and what I want to become. So in that triangulation, what needs are arising out of there? If I consider my goals, if I consider the space around me, the relationships that I have around me, how can I bring them closer to being in alignment with how I want to be seen, who I want to be within myself, how I want to be represented, what I would dream for myself in the future. How can I make that manifest? And I can do that by understanding who I've been and who I am now, and the goals that I'm aiming for. So yeah, need. Now there. Let me have a look over here. Oh yeah, so I've just pulled up that in my book. I wrote quite a few notes about this one, actually. And it talks about Niflheim, the place where Skuld resides, and it represents Nidhogg. There's a snake. I think there's a snake that's at the base of the world tree that's not chewing away at the roots. And it's sort of like seen as this sort of like destructive force, but it's also a way of keeping everything just keeping everything sort of tidy and well held, keeping resources concentrated, all of that kind of stuff. But it also represents that unconscious realm, the shadow realm, the deeper side of ourselves, which is interesting because in a lot of instances, the maiden aspect is not often associated with the unconscious, but within this pantheon, or this style of understanding, this worldview, the maiden is the one that you can't see her face. She's hidden. She's part of the unknown, which is what is becoming. It's unknowable. All we can do is move towards it and understand it. And I think that's why Nidhogg is also represented within this room and the realm of Niflheim, because it's talking about how, yes, we can have goals and we can aim for them on a surface level, but, when we look at who we are and what our choices are in any moment, we feel very directed. But then our direction can be sort of like, we can almost, what's it called? Like be our own worst enemy when it comes to reaching our goals. And I feel like that's the stuff that's coming up from the unconscious realm, the shadow side of ourselves coming out, because we're not digging deep enough to really look at what our goals actually are. And if we're able to think about the need rather than the desire, so just say, I desire to become my becoming to be I'm more popular, say. I want to be more popular. That's my desire. But it's not really fulfilling a need. It's a surface level thing. So it doesn't have a lot of support of the holistic realm that is me, that is all that I am. But if I instead kind of go, okay, why do I want to be popular? And I go deeper into that. Oh, because I feel unseen, or I feel like my efforts are going unrewarded. Oh, okay. So where do you feel that? Where, is it in your work? Is it in your family? Is it in your relationships? Is it blah, 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 blah? And so as you see, you get deeper and deeper, and then you might realize at the very core of that, so at the roots of the tree where Nidhogg is, what's chewing away at you down there is this need for self-actualization. So that could mean, I'm actually not really being who I want to be, which means everything that I'm trying to do is wrong. And everybody that I'm trying to interact with is not really understanding me. And that's where the glitch is. It's at a deeper level. So I feel like this rune, like I said at the start, for me personally, this is about direction. I feel like for me to really understand my needs and therefore be able to become what I need to become to fulfill those needs, I need to dig a lot deeper. I need to get to the roots to see what's gnawing at those roots and how those roots are being shaped by what's gnawing at them, and actually like be in balance with that and draw that energy up and through and out into the spaces that I occupy in this physical body. So that will be me, I think, and I hope you all got something out of that rune. If I was just going to pop into this question over here, how does someone feel after seeing you? I reckon that's more about your need to know, is maybe more of a inspiration to actually ask, to make contact, to be able to communicate that need. And why do you want to know? Why do you want to know how somebody else feels after seeing you? Is that because you want to know your impact on somebody? Then is that need for validation an external thing and should be internalized? I feel like that maybe is what this rune is saying to you. So there we go. Have fun working with that. And I'll be here very early next week. Have a good one. Enjoy the waning of the moon and the peace that can bring. Cheers. Have a good one.